Beautiful people, and welcome to another episode of Sit With Me, Let's Talk podcast with Shalom. And if this podcast has been a blessing to you, kindly like, subscribe, and share with others. And without wasting much of our time, let's get right into today's topic. So we'll be talking about who you are without your titles. Because ask yourself this question: who are you without the titles that you have? Not your job title, not student, not CEO, not firstborn, not pastor, not wife, or not a leader. If all of that was stripped away, if all those titles were stripped away, right, who would still remain? Did you guys think about that? Who would still remain? Because for many of us, our titles have become our identity, right? We introduce ourselves by what we do. We measure our worth by positions. We feel important when our name comes with something attached to it, which is a good thing. But here is the truth: titles can be given and titles can be taken. You can lose your job today, or you can leave a role, or you can decide to resign. You can graduate, get fired, or get married, and suddenly the labels changes. So if your identity, right, is built on a title, what happens when that identity is gone? I mean, did you ask yourself that? Because this is where life becomes dangerous. When you confuse what you do with who you are, because you are more than your productivity, you are more than your platform, you are more than your achievement. Before you were called a leader, you were a person. Did you know that? Before you were called successful, you were created. Before anyone applauded you, God already knew you. Exactly. Because if we are to go deeper in this faith journey, God never introduced you by your title. He introduced you by your identity. He didn't say, "This is my servant, this is my prophet." He said, "This is my beloved child." Do you know what it's like to be called God's beloved child? And that changes everything. Because when your identity is rooted in who God says you are, titles becomes assignments, not definitions. Because you can actually hold a title without letting it hold you. Yes, you can do that. You can walk in influence without losing your essence. So I want you to ask yourself this sweet question. I want you to sit with it today. If nobody knew your position, right? If nobody clapped for you, if nobody called your name, would you still know your words? Would you still believe? Would you still love yourself? Would you still believe you matter? Because even the strongest people are not those with the highest titles, but those who know who they are, even without those titles. So maybe today it is time for you to redefine yourself. Not by what you do, not by what people call you, not by what you've achieved, but by who you are becoming and who God says you are. Do you guys get me? Because titles may open doors for you, sure, but your identity in Christ, it keeps you standing when those doors are closed. And I will leave you with the final verse. It says, 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 17 says, "Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old has passed away and the new has come." So, brethren, who are you without the titles? And I will see you in the next episode.